Good morning. Good morning. It is day 2, December 2nd of the Joy of Stitching Box. And I'm excited to show you what is going on for day 2. Now, if you've already opened it, you're like, hi, Amy, I can see what it is, right? It came in this little kind of see-through package. It's no surprise. What was in there was a USB stick, okay? So there's 2 things on here, right? Plus you have the USB stick. You can do with it what you want. But there's 2 things on here that I'm only going to show you one because that's the one we're doing today. Now, I added an embroidery design. If you guys already don't have embroidery, you need to run over to your friend's house because guaranteed she has an embroidery machine hiding somewhere. So we're going to talk about this pretty embroidery. Look, it's this pretty mistletoe. I did on a simple black Dunroven towel, which is one of my favorite things to give. I usually give some sort of a food. I wrap the towel with the embroidery on it around, the nut bread or the cookies or whatever I'm offering. So it really is kind of a quick and easy, but we're going to talk a little bit about stabilizers. But I did want to show you, I opened it up here in my embroidery software, and let's see what's happening. Whoop, text from Ed is what's happening. So when I open up my USB, it's zipped. You're just going to double click on it and it's going to unzip, and then you're going to have access to your embroidery files. Okay. Your embroidery machine will not let you, use a zip file. Okay. So you have to unzip it in order to use it. And I think there's 3 or 4 basic formats in there. So something everybody can use. If you need help, support at Amy Sews. I'd be glad to do it. But let's talk about embroidery on thin cotton towels. Okay, so this embroidery was digitized for that. It's not super dense, but you can see that the satin bow is full satin, right? Which means there's no stitches in between. And then this is a fill pattern. So I usually just use a crisp, kind of a medium weight tearaway, because once this gets washed, it's going to come out. But I want to give you a hint. Anytime you're working with anything satin stitchy, you need to hold those stitches with your finger while you remove the paper. And I'll tell you why. If you just yank, it's going to pull these loops, and then you're going to have a mess on the front. So as you gently take this away, now I don't take necessarily all of it away. I take the majority of it away, but it's more important when you're working with a satin stitch that you hold that satin stitch. This is a pretty tough tearaway here. You hold that satin stitch as you peel that away, so you don't get any pulls on the front. Okay, so that's kind of my hint with that. It was just one layer and it made it very smooth. Now, when we start working with terry cloth, this is a bamboo French terry. Terry cloth is a whole different animal because terry cloth is very, very woven, dense. It doesn't have any stretch. It doesn't have anything. I use a heat away topper. Now, anytime you're using tear away, you can use a wash away topper. But I like an iron away because when I'm giving a terry cloth towel as a gift, I want to make sure that it's crisp and still has that starch in it from the stores. So how does that work? Well, this heat away, it scares people. Let's see, I got to get this out of the way. Hold on. Get my iron pad up here. When you take it, and I'm just going to take a little piece of it, right? So you've done your embroidery, your topper's on there, and now you're going to take your iron, your hot iron, and you ready? Don't pass out on me because it scares everybody. Oh my Lord, it just stuck to my iron. You're just going to give it a rub. Just do it here. Give it a rub. And it all plastic beads up. These little beads right here. It just beads up and comes off and doesn't make a mess with your towel. So it totally melts and pulls away. So all you have are these little bits that just brush right off. Right. So that is why we have a heat away product that I use a lot with my terry cloth towels, because then when it's done, you can't feel it, see it. You don't have to wash your towels, and it makes a beautiful presentation. So although your little USB didn't seem too exciting, there's 2 exciting things on here. The next one will be a couple days ahead. So you can get started doing your beautiful mistletoe embroidery. If you don't have an embroidery machine, run to your friend's house, because I know they got 4 or 5, and you guys can do it as a together project. The other nice thing I like to do for the holidays, to me, I'm more of a giver. I really want to, and not in a big present way, in a kindness way, right? So one of my favorite things to do is our church does Meals on Wheels, is I like to do embroidered placemats or make some sort of placemat for Meals on Wheels. This is the perfect place to put that. If you just stitch it off, you can just send it on to somebody who would truly enjoy that you thought about them for the holidays. All right, so you have 24 hours to get that done before we start day 3. All right, I will see you tomorrow.